What's up, y'all? Thanks for watching Down the Rabbit Hole. Before we go any further with this platform, there's a few things that I feel like I wanted to address. There's a couple people in the comments that are like, coming to my platform, this judgment-free platform, and judging me. The good thing about being a good person in real life is that I don't have to talk for myself. So let's take a look.
Even like now, I love my friend that blesses me when she can. If I had $1 million, I would have been gave her half.
So many nights that you blessed us, and
Me?
or the Captain Hooks,
You guys
not you, but people have blessed us with Captain Hooks to give us something to eat.
Yeah.
Or we would have just
I love you guys.
And
That's
so
what
many
I
good
was
people
talking about,
at
Jess.
this
I love
restaurant.
you, Abby.
I said, if I had $1 million, right hand up to God, I would have gave you half of my fortune.
Girl, I
Because
give
you
clothes
never
off my back.
once came back and asked us or never judged us.
No, never, girl.
So many of the customers offered to get us food, and good people around here.
But you most of the time, hey Debbie, come on. And always before you did it, are you okay? They'll just
And
buy
just
us
talk
food
to
and be
us,
like, here's the ticket.
See how we are.
But you will talk to us. And that makes us feel like we're still human.
That
Although we're,
acknowledgement is
go ahead, talk.
It's important. There's been times where we were freezing cold, and we got food and we needed it, or we probably would have died with some hard winters.
But not everybody like that. Sometimes people, they just ain't ready to get it.
Right.
I believe you got food out, you know what I mean? I know you got a good heart. And one thing you will do is you'll feed us.
No, I wouldn't do you like that because you're a good person. And right now you give me a lot of, you makes me think a lot about trying to get myself together.
Yeah. It's time.
And I appreciate that.
So, one thing I need y'all to be aware of. My clients have addictions, okay? Now, we could all come together and get $100,000 and get everybody their own apartment and fill it up, but all of that stuff is going to be in vain if this person is not clean. We can literally come there with the apartment, with all the furniture and everything like that, and then next week it'll be a crack house. Or next week all the stuff that we bought is sold, you know what I'm saying? Because this person was not ready to make those life changes. We can want the best for everybody, right? But if this person is not wanting that for themselves, if this person is not willing to take those steps, that first step of accountability, you know, and I talk about accountability a lot because it's probably one of the biggest steps. Once you can acknowledge yourself and where you're going wrong, you can make those changes that you need for yourself, for your family, for your kids. We've had people that were on the streets for years, you know, and I asked them, how long have you been on the streets? And they do the math, and it's 15, 20 years, and they haven't even thought about it, you know. 20 years have went by, and it wasn't even a question in their mind about how long they've actually been spending their time. So yes, I want y'all to empathize. I want this to be a judgment-free zone, which is what it's going to be. But I don't want you guys to be too emotionally invested into this, because sometimes things don't happen how we want them to happen. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story. And I'm not going to tell y'all who it was with because the guy actually ended up doing an interview. But a couple years ago, me and my husband had this apartment, and we were going to give it to this guy. But he had an addiction, and so we got everything set up for him, and he never showed. And I was so hurt, and I was emotionally traumatized for probably about a year that I felt like I did what God wanted me to do. I was trying to, you know, set him up for something nice, and he just wasn't ready, you know. And he, you know, I saw him the other day and he still wasn't ready, you know. And so that was a learning experience for me. So there are things that we need cash for, but I want y'all to remember, like, if you go out and are expecting me to find a landlord and, you know, place people in homes, it's hard for me to do that because they have addictions. I want you guys to comment. I want all the suggestions literally that you guys can think of, because I have been praying so hard about this before we even went live. And I'm gonna set up a P.O. box for people that want to send stuff, which is what I would prefer. I talk to my clients. You know, I've been knowing some of them for years, and when I brought them the idea, Debbie hugged me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people are being walked over every day. When it's time for election, we go in our booths and we elect people that won't even let your homeless people sleep on the viaducts. And so these are the same people that feel like they don't even have a voice, you know? And so this platform is giving them that voice, giving them that street therapy that they didn't even know they needed, you know what I'm saying? And in a sense, a lot of times you see them crying, I'm behind the camera already crying, y'all. Like this is how sometimes the conversation ends up, you know, 20, 30 minutes because it was such a good release for things that they needed, you know? And so I've naturally been a person that people come to. It's almost like my spirit attracts broken people. And I wonder why, you know, not even just homeless people coming up to me and, you know, just telling me random stuff, crying because it was just something that they really needed to release. And God chose me to be that type of person where strangers are comfortable with me, you know what I'm saying? And so when you see interviews like William, and he's not eating well, in the interview, I'm literally saying your food is cooking, okay? Do y'all know how many times I almost lost my job for this? And I'm not talking about this interview. This is years. I've been at this job for 4 years. I have been toe-to-toe with my boss on so many occasions for feeding homeless people, okay? It was getting so out of hand that the neighborhood was literally calling this place of business, okay, y'all, a restaurant. The place of business, they were calling it Olivia's Shelter because literally every day, at least 10 to 15 people were coming in my job just to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Coming in for food at all times, hours of the day, you know, on days that I'm off, they're coming in there looking for me by name. And so I put my job on the line a number of times, you know what I'm saying? I thank God every day for always having my back. But it was something that I had to get under control. So this is something that I care about. I was giving my last, y'all, you know what I'm saying? It was something that I had to realize that I had become an enabler and I didn't want to be an enabler, you know what I'm saying? And so that was kind of like the birth of the idea of people getting paid for interviews. I found myself asking questions that were very triggering. In a weird way, it was like pulling out this trauma. And in turn, like by my second, third interview, I was able to see that homelessness, addiction, and trauma, they are hand in hand. I will say this, I can't satisfy everybody, you know? I can only do what God wants me to do. And ever since I've allowed him to take full control of my life, like I've been put in positions where, you know, I can help somebody with something that I'm not even, you know, it doesn't cross my mind twice, but it was something that was so meaningful for them. And those are the things that really make me happy. I think a lot of times people were like wondering, why do I have such this soft spot for people that are homeless, people that have addiction? And it took me a while to come to terms that we had experienced homelessness in my childhood, and it was something that it took a huge toll on me well into my adulthood, where if you asked me something, I would literally like burst out into tears. And it was something that I needed to take time to heal before I was able to even like to be where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? If I hadn't healed, I'm not even sure if I would be able to do the interviews because I was still broken, you know what I'm saying? And in some ways I'm still working. You know, my mom abused drugs, you know, we were in foster care. You know, she abandoned her kids, and it was something for years I didn't understand. But I get it now. Mama can't save you. Now I can't go out and buy individual apartments, you know, but I can buy a building, you know. And Chicago's full of abandoned buildings, which you'll see a lot of my customers are actually sleeping in these abandoned buildings anyway. So to buy an abandoned buildings, renovate it, and we'll kind of maintain it, that's a little bit easier. But like I said, I really just I need help.
Now, blick a blow, look, your mama can't save you now. Blick a blow, when your feet don't touch the ground. Look around, look, your mama can't.